In the news this week, Asher's Baking Company's appeal hearing is adjourned till May. The Northern Ireland Assembly is set to vote on plans to liberalise abortion law, and the government has said it will push ahead with longer Sunday trading hours. Hello and welcome to this week's news bulletin from the Christian Institute. The appeal hearing for Asher's Baking Company was dramatically adjourned on Wednesday following an intervention from the Attorney General for Northern Ireland. The MacArthur family, who own and run Asher's, were at the Court of Appeal in Belfast, seeking to overturn a previous county court ruling. In May 2015, Judge Isabel Brownlee ruled that the MacArthurs broke the law by declining to decorate a cake with a pro-gay marriage campaign slogan. The family said they turned down the order because it conflicted with their Christian belief that marriage is between a man and a woman. After less than an hour in court, the appeal hearing was adjourned until the 9th of May, when Northern Ireland's Attorney General intervened. John Larkin QC raised questions over the constitutional validity and effect of the regulations on which the case is based. The Christian Institute's Simon Calvert explained the development.
So what's happened is that the Attorney General for Northern Ireland has sought to intervene in the legal action involving the MacArthurs. He thinks there are some questions to be raised about the validity of the laws that were used against them. So we'll have to wait and see the substance of his arguments. I've been with the MacArthur family. They are philosophical, they are patient, and they are quite happy to wait until the new hearing date in May for all the issues to be properly debated. But what today does underscore is the importance of this case and the magnitude of the issues at stake. It's clearly a very important case for all kinds of people, not just for Christians.
Before entering court, General Manager of Asher's, Daniel MacArthur, defended the freedom of Christians to live out their faith in the workplace.
As I've said many times before, Asher's does not discriminate against anyone. We took issue with the message on the cake and not the customer. And as a family, we believe we should retain the freedom to decline business that would force us to promote a cause with which we disagree. As Christians, we can't simply switch off our faith when we enter the workplace on a Monday morning. To be a Christian at all is to strive to live for Christ in every corner of our lives. And we served Mr. Lee as we would any other customer. We were simply unwilling to endorse this campaign.
A petition in support of the MacArthur family has now reached over 11,000 signatures. The petition can be signed at christian.org.uk/support-Ashers. The Northern Ireland Assembly is set to vote on plans to liberalise abortion law in the province, despite overwhelming public opposition. MLAs from the Alliance, Green and NI21 parties have put forward changes to the Justice Bill, which would allow abortion in cases of fatal fetal abnormality and sexual crime. The bill is set to be debated on the 9th of February. But last year, the government's own consultation on the issue revealed that just 0.7% of respondents were in favour of a change in the law. In November, a High Court judge ruled that Northern Ireland's abortion law is incompatible with human rights, but the ruling is being appealed. The Christian Institute has highlighted moving stories of mothers who rejected abortion in cases of severely life-limiting disabilities and rape. See christian.org.uk/choose life for videos and web articles. Plans to weaken Sunday trading laws have been revived by the government after it was forced to put the proposals on hold last year. The government wants to give local authorities power to control Sunday trading laws, but critics have warned of the negative effect on families and workers. Sajid Javid, the Secretary of State responsible, said in Parliament that the plans would be brought forward as amendments to the government's enterprise bill. But MPs lined up to criticise the plans. Labour's Angela Eagle, the Shadow Business Secretary, pointed out that the plans had not been part of the Conservatives' manifesto. And the DUP's Jim Shannon said the government should listen to widespread opposition on the issue.
Don't ignore 66% of the general public who say they don't want change. Don't ignore 91% of the workers who say they don't want change either. Whether you like it or whether you don't, those are the facts.
Ahead of last year's general election, the Keep Sunday Special campaign received an assurance that the Conservatives had no current plans to relax Sunday trading laws. And finally, the Human Fertilisation and Embryology Authority has given UK researchers approval to genetically modify human embryos. Scientists at the Francis Crick Institute plan to use a controversial technique called CRISPR-Cas9, despite international concerns. Subject to ethical approval, experiments on unwanted IVF embryos could begin in the next few months. There is currently a ban on implanting genetically modified embryos. Dr. Peter Saunders, CEO of the Christian Medical Fellowship, explained why scientists around the world will be very concerned about the UK's approval of the research.
Well, gene editing to treat genetic disease in adults or children holds huge therapeutic promise, and it's very exciting. But gene editing of embryos is another thing altogether. It's unethical, it's dangerous, and it's unnecessary. It's unethical because it's going to result in the destruction of dozens of embryos that could otherwise be implanted and donated. It's dangerous because of the unpredictable effects on the human genome that could be passed on down through the generations. And it is unnecessary because the genetic abnormalities responsible for miscarriage, which is why this is being sold to us, are not the sort of things that can be fixed by this technology anyway.
Well, that's all for this week. For more information and regular updates on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.